Okay, so we're using the separatory funnel because they don't mix well, and get the two mixtures separated from the ethanol, water, food coloring from the oil, because the oil will just float on top of it. And there's a clear visible right there. The bubbles are just created right now. So we're gonna let it settle, and we'll show you a picture when it's settled. We'll probably do this once or twice, depending on how well we do it. Make sure everything's separated. The fluid will pour down there, leaving the floating fluid on top. Okay, so we're just gonna get the green liquid mixture out. So Derek, just go ahead and turn it. Alright, so just get your hand out of the way. Okay. So green liquid is just dripping out while the top clear liquid is staying because it's just floating on top of it, and they're not mixed.
Gonna have to do this another time. There's still some left.
Yeah, we'll probably do it again. As many times as it takes just to get everything out of the way. Is it all the way open?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is.
Let that sit for a while.
I think you're supposed to,
Let that sit and then move on to the liquid.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
We could, I would just let it sit.
This might take a while though.
Yeah.
And then it should.
We'll come back in a little bit and show you the rest.
Yeah, that's okay.
Should we keep the lid on, or
Yeah, you can take it off, but it seems like slow. It might just be. Yeah, you can let it run like that. But just you want to do this maybe a couple times, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, because look, you guys
You
have
see the
some oil
bubbles,
there.
yeah. See these bubbles?
Guys, yeah, if you're using a
Placing the top.
separatory funnel, make sure you do a couple trials.
Just these bubbles here.
Not gonna get
It's the oil right there. It just shows that it doesn't always, on the first try, won't get it. Derek, you want to take the lid off? We can just show them.
Yeah, so guys, it's probably a good idea to grab one of the water bottles to use for washing, because that's distilled water.
As soon as it takes the lid off, it'll start flowing.
It contains certain ions that we might not
Oh,
want
stop.
in our
Alright.
solution. So in the water bottles there, besides
There's the oil just going. You can see it's coming back to the top. So we'll probably do this once or twice again until we get it right.
Yeah, I need to pause it.
Close it off, and we'll clean it off, and then we'll show you the second try. There we go. Time number 2.
This is take number 2. Now we're just separating it out.
And we'll just be watching it really tight closely this time, because it's just a small amount of oil, so
Yeah.
we don't want that
Only a
to even
small
get
amount of oil on the top now. Just one bubble.
Make sure you clean this before you do it again, otherwise you'll have oil all on the side, making this a lot harder. Alright, let's put the lid back on to slow down how fast it goes. Just got a little bit there. Okay, so let's get the rest of this oil.
You can see it's much less oil than the first time.
Just look on
Just
top.
a tiny bit.
You see just a small little bubbles. So we'll probably do this maybe
One more
once or
time.
twice
Yeah.
more, depending on how much more we need to get. Because we don't want any oil left in there. Of course, we can't help that it's gonna be a little bit, but
Yeah.
we get as much as we can out. Alright, so we just got the oil and the mixture of unknown. Well, actually, we know what it is, but we just have to separate it yet. And as you can see, they aren't. Oh, actually, I don't see any bubbles at all. Look, it's very small. You can zoom in a lot. See just these little bubbles. On the side, there's just oil bubbles still. From far away, it's almost impossible to tell. So we're just gonna distill the methanol out of this one to leave the water and the dyes left, and then we will distill the water out. So we're left with the dyes with just a little bit of water. And we'll use calorimeter here to just separate the dyes. Alright, so the water flows through the tube right here, and they're cooling the steam that this is not like boiling yet, but when it does, it will cool the steam that flows in these tubes, and as it cools, the steam will just drip down into here, giving us the pure methanol because it boils at 65 degrees, and the water will not boil, and it will stay at in this beaker here. Right now, it's not really boiling, but you can see the steam is starting to form here. So we should start seeing some drips later in a little bit, and the cold water here cools it. The pipe over here, take the water back, and we'll just pour it up here. We won't make a mess. Right now, we'll just sit here and watch. We'll put another video when it starts to boil more, and you can see actual dripping happening. Okay, so as we can see, it is beginning to boil, and it goes down there. As the steam goes around this, the cold water cools it, and drip, drip, we get the ethanol on it.
There we go.
Right
There we
here.
go.
It's coming out steadily.
It's coming out pretty steadily here, and the temperature here is not 100% accurate, but it looks it's just under 50. Of course, it's probably not right because this methanol boils at 65. Because as you can see, the thermometer only goes up about till there, so we have to kind of guess to be 100% sure. We can't be 100. But I'm just gonna turn the heat down now because we don't want it to get too hot. Otherwise, the water will boil, and then this will just be pointless. So we'll come back again in a little while. I'll let you know when we're done with all the methanol. You can see some steam still coming out though. Just a little bit of steam just flowing out of the tube. Most of it is just the methanol cooling down. And I think it's going pretty fast. We have that much now. We'll come back in a little bit, let you know how it's going. Alright, so we have turned the heat off. It is still boiling just a little bit, and we're just letting it flow down once again, and the drip, it's dripping really slow now. And alright, so this is the boiling the water to get the food coloring in high concentration in a liquid form. I guess the other one was leaking, so we had to get a much longer tube, as you can see. Right now it's on high, just trying to get it to boil at this point. Alright, you can see the liquid is starting to flow here. It hasn't quite reached here yet, but it's right there. It's coming down. There it goes. There goes the water. Here it comes. And just pulling there until it can have enough to overflow. And there it goes. So water is now boiling, and temperature here is at, it's around there, a little bit above, it's almost at 70 here. Of course, this isn't 100% accurate because, as you can see, well, it's kind of foggy, but the rod doesn't really reach down, it only goes to about there. So it's just mainly measuring the gas. And it's just dripping here. And so once the water gets dripped out of the way, we'll have just the food coloring mixed in green at the bottom here. Okay, and now the water is still being evaporated, but it's kind of slowed down here. It's not so much anymore. I mean, we've got about 20, we got almost exactly, we're just a little under 25 here. Right there. And this is getting really dark green. Just get a close up view here. It's getting really dark here. I think the water is just about almost all evaporated here, and it won't be even entirely because we still have the food coloring not in solid form. So we got most of the water out here, and we'll show you after we do the photometry paper after this distillation. Alright, then we just have very little, it's just really high. You can't see because some of the steam, but very little, but it's really dark right now. And the water on this end is almost completely stopped, so we've turned off the hot plate and we're just gonna let it sit until it cools down on its own, and then we'll use the comic paper to finish off the separation of the colors here. The temperature right now says it's just a little bit overrated, probably like 81, 82-ish. I'm not 100% sure. I'm looking at the camera, so. And so it's starting to simmer down, and we'll show you once everything's done here. If you're wondering why our flask is longer now, the other one had a leak in it, so we had to, not our flask, the distillation tube, why it's longer now. It's because the other one had a leak in it, so we had to get a new one.